this is Pinkietessa's A-Z of London. It's N for the new Piccadilly Cafe, and it is no longer. It's gone with the wind, via Carventa. In truth, completely and utterly not there, totally knocked down. So that's the end of that. Okay, steady on. The new Piccadilly Cafe was straight out of the 1950s, literally, and it hadn't changed one bit. The dust had just got thicker. It was the craziest place in the world, and it went off in a puff of rent increases and Westminster's development plans. The NPC closed its doors for the very last time on Saturday the 22nd of September 2007, and yours ever so truly was there on Friday the 21st of September with a group of my very best pals to say goodbye. Cripes, those three just want to get in everywhere. Top 3 best lookers apparently. One of my dining companions ordered a steak pie, which came with 2 vegetables. When the waiter, resplendent in his white uniform of trousers and jacket with epaulets, I loved those epaulets, came to take our order, he was asked what were the 2 vegetables. Without irony, the waiter replied, chips and peas. When we left, there was a queue down the street. I bet Lorenzo had wished he'd closed down more often. Lorenzo Marioni worked at the cafe for nearly 100 years. Well, nearly. Lorenzo was born in a village in the Apennines, not far from Pisa, Italy, in 1943. Like a fair number of Italians, his family moved to London shortly after the Second World War to take up catering in the Italian-British way. Lorenzo arrived in London in 1949, aged 6. At 7, so he relates, he was put to work in his father's cafe, washing up and peeling potatoes. He spent the next 50-odd years on the street of Denman, round the back of Piccadilly, hence the name. And boy, he must have seen a ton of stuff. He spent every day of his life, apart from his time in the army, on that street, making a living, which towards the end of his career, he said was more like half a living. The NPC was opened by Lorenzo's father, Pietro, in 1951, the year of the Festival of Britain. Thus was it the style inspiration, using bright, vivid colours, not seen much since the war. In the 2000s, it was considered a design classic. But ever the pragmatic, Lorenzo turns that little compliment on its head, declaring it was more like it hadn't had a penny spent on it for years. I'll second that. I'll tell you, I don't miss the lavatory one bit. All original fixtures and fittings have been lost in the dustbin of time. True to his word, good old Lorenzo trashed the lot when he closed up. The NPC's legendary, it ain't broken, don't fix it philosophy is a wonder to behold. But the writing was on the wall from about June 2003. Lorenzo hung on in there, but retirement, redevelopment, and increased rents gets everyone in the end. The decorations and fittings were worthy of any vintage emporium. The wall lamp fittings, the clock in the middle of the horseshoe menu, Formica in 3 shades, the particularly fabulous Formica yellow top tables with squiggle 50s design, the menu still sporting the 01 for London prefix, at least 15 years out of date, original wood booth seating, swivel seats in the front area, plastic flowers, old mirrors, original 50s glass cups and saucers, oval plates, and never to forget the fabulous pink espresso machine and the vintage cash register. All that vintage stuff and the neon eat sign all flashing off for the last time in 2007. The backstreet Soho history that walked hand in hand with these cafes was something Lorenzo was most happy to chat about, between serving up his frothy coffee in his authentic, because he had them that long, glass cups and saucers. In the 1950s, Soho, part of the West End of London, well known as the entertainment area, was dark, seedy and dangerous, infested with gangsters, rockers and prostitutes. So no change there then. Full to the brim with nationalities such as Italians, Greeks, Jews, Maltese, the Irish and Budapest street rats, who were frankly running Soho alongside the corrupt cops. Sounds delicious, don't it? Memories don't die, they just get embellished and grow in confidence. Lorenzo had only to stand behind his counter, and they would all in their time come through the door, stay a while, regaling Lorenzo with tales and reminiscing in a big way. As did the Soho gangster, Albert Dimes. He sat a while with the young Lorenzo. He spoke of his association with Prince Felix Yusupov. Yusupov was one of the conspirators who, having had enough of Rasputin's hold over the Tsar and Tsarina, did him in. But would he die? Rasputin would not die. Later, Yusupov sought refuge in London during 1919. In 1956, the NPC became a meeting point for Hungarian dissidents fleeing the Soviet invasion, one of their number proudly revealing for Pietro, Lorenzo's father, a severed finger of a rival gang wrapped so beautifully in a nice white handkerchief. It could have been grubby and horrid, I don't know. And that was the point. In those days, all these groups of strange and exotic foreigners were disparate groups and in the mood for hating. The Irish beat the crapulence out of the Italians, or Itais as they were referred to then, and presumably the Italians kicked the crap out of some other poor nationality. With that in mind, the 13-year-old Lorenzo took up judo lessons run by the brother of the wrestler Tiger Joe Robinson. Robinson later found a career in Italian films as the hero of the sword and sandal melodramas via the Carol Reed movie A Kid for Two Farthings. He was cast as Diana Dawes' boyfriend. Do we think Diana Dawes popped in for a frothy coffee? You bet. Could we imagine that Lorenzo was a little in love with Miss Dawes? Possibly. Well, she was a peach, but she was also a fluck. In the early 1960s, the rockers moved in with the obligatory flick knives, feet up on the tables, and scaring away all the other customers, even the murderers. Barring them and removing the jukebox only caused reprisals, rendering the glass front windows smashed to smithereens. Wired glass was the order of the day, with 2 vegetables, more peas and chips please. The Marioni family once owned 6 cafes and a trattoria on Denham Street's old narrow Victorian thoroughfare, along with the old Piccadilly, which preceded the new. It's gone from trattoria to tandoori in a generation. One last bastion of Marioniness remains in the form of Il Cucciola, run by his aunt Ancella Musetti. An Indian establishment had taken over the Vienna, run by his father, and the Estorial, once run by his uncle Jimmy Musetti. La Barca, his mother's restaurant, was boarded up by 2004. The building is no more, completely and utterly demolished. Westminster are redeveloping the area, so we wait with interest to see what yields. Time stands still for no man or woman or Lorenzo and his new Piccadilly Cafe. Lorenzo loves Scotland, John Wayne movies, cravats, and unpasteurized fine wines. So a jolly time in retirement seems assured. As we raise our glasses, this has been my N for no more new Piccadilly Cafe and no more neon signs.